Hey y'all. Now my LB7 Duramax is a great piece of gear, but after using it to haul the Suburban a handful of times, a few improvements did make some sense. It's always been kept super clean by my dad, and I kind of want to keep that up. Most of what I'm interested in is just making this thing a little bit more efficient, right? And it's got pretty good torque to begin with, mid 500s. I know like conversations don't start unless you got a comma in your torque number, but I'm pretty happy with the mid 5s all the way up to 700. That's all that I feel like I need to drag around the stuff that's important to me. Oh, I had some folks reach out from Dirty Diesel Customs up in Canada. Really nice folks, and they've got kind of all of these parts in stock that you would see at a broadline diesel distributor. And one of the things that I wanted was to be able to just kind of start with the intake side of the truck. Opening up the airflow to the turbo has traditionally been pretty good value for money. Now recall that like 85% of what goes through an engine is just air, so opening up the free intake of that air without sacrificing filtration, well, that's usually good for performance and efficiency. Now to that end, this intake elbow from Fleece has always made really good sense to me. It maintains a consistent 3+ inch opening throughout, where when you look at the factory piece, it necks down to less than 2.5 inches at the compressor inlet. I reckon that reduction acts kind of sort of like a silencer ring, which, look, that's fine, but well, it turns out I don't mind a little more turbo sound. The hardware for all of this is really pretty small, so I removed some surrounding parts to more easily access those harder to reach screws, and of course I had to bring my magnet too. Here's where I run into a problem. The intermediate tube in this kit did not fit, like it's not even close. So I put all the factory stuff back in place, double checked all my paperwork, and called Banks customer support. Kind of frustrating, but honestly, it is not worth blowing things out of proportion. The factory intake hooks right back up to the new elbow, and I have got plenty to keep me busy. We'll wrap this thing up a little later in the video. Meanwhile, the Suburban is about to receive some very much needed cosmetic attention. You guys know while I have put plenty of work into the suspension and powertrain and, other stuff, the body itself is really showing its age. I love that truck, and it's just time it started to look like it. Clean OE steel is the first step.
All right, Tony.
Tony is a friendly dude with a very well-organized collection of Squarebodies. Now, we've chatted a little bit on socials, but it was great to finally meet him in person. What's really cool, Tony's got a lot of everything, right? So certainly plenty of pickups. And then the hard part really is finding all of these good Suburbans, right? With good quarters and doors, and like the value in a salvage yard or in a collector's yard is picking the right ones to go in. And you got somebody who's a Squarebody fan to start, Texas Squarebodies, keep in touch with him if you're looking to piece together, your next project, all right? So this truck is the one that Tony has set us up with to pull one fender, and we'll go get another fender and a hood on any one of the others. It's gonna be fun, and it's a good day to do it. It's not too hot. Fenders come apart real easily. You just need a 9/16, a half, 10mm, and a flathead screwdriver. Now guess which one of those sockets I nearly lost? You wanted to assemble them off?
Yeah, please.
Okay. This one's pristine. Like, there's no filler or anything on this. Everybody always asks me why I have like box tops and all that in the truck. It's for just like this, so we can stack the fenders and then the hood, and nothing scratches or dings each other. All right, so 2 fenders, check, and I think we need a hood now. All right, so here's what we're looking for, right? Rust-free, pretty much in this area, right? There's some of these things that get really pitted and worn out, and of course then your hood won't open. And then we're just looking to see if the underside, right, if there's any rusting and all that on the underside. So on the top, right, what we're looking for is just basically, is this thing original? This seam down here, you can bump it out. And reclaim it. This is just rust from maybe a paint can or something that sat here for a minute, so that's not too bad.
And there's no filler on it. That's nice. Just cat prints. Just cat prints. So what's your assessment?
It looks original paint. I don't see any Bondo or anything in it. It looks straight. It looks like, you know, it's going to be a good addition to your burb.
All right. Okay, that's going to be all we get on this trip. You can see the bed's pretty full, right? So 2 fenders and a hood is all that's going to go in my 6.5 foot bed. I am quite sure, Tony, I'm going to be back out here to get probably drip rails, you know, quarters, parts of quarters, something, right? But the point is that this guy has curated a really, really fine selection. So whether you're in the DFW area or not, even if you're just in this little crowd, right? Tony's a good person to know and runs what I think is a very, very special yard.
I appreciate that.
Very special, man. Well, that's pretty cool. Got to head back and get things cleaned up. I'm meeting with a buddy tomorrow, and we're gonna outline a plan on how to use all this sort of stuff. He's done what I want to do several times before, so I'm gonna learn from him. That just kind of reminds me, like meeting Tony and these other folks. Social media, man. If you're not meeting people in person, you might be doing it wrong. Now I gotta actually get on the highway and drive now.
Meanwhile, LS Fest was in town, so here are some of my favorite highlights from that event.
They include all the components needed to add a high performance.
Hey, big thank you to Gale Banks Engineering. I just paid him a call and said, hey, the wrong elbow's in there. Turns out it was just an honest mistake. So this is the LLY elbow, and then here is the LB7. Now, no more talking about it. Let's just go put it on the truck.
Dirty Diesel Customs has pretty much all the manufacturers represented, but I picked this intake for 2 really simple reasons. I have always known Banks stuff to be quality, and this uses the same filter that I run on the 6.5 Suburban, so I already have 2 of them. Now, over the summer, I have observed about a 3/4 mile per gallon increase in highway fuel economy and a marked improvement in throttle response, especially the mid-range. Intake and turbo noise is slightly increased, though my wife hasn't really been able to tell. Now, fairly all my toys are loud, so this is really just a matter of degrees, but for me, it is all just right. Think of this as an easy and very enjoyable 30-minute install, or just take your time and enjoy the process. Don't be in a rush. Y'all know I love building and fabricating, but you recognize there is some great value in just doing a simple bolt-on project and enjoying the output. All this stuff came from Dirty Diesel Customs, and use the link in the description for 7% off your order.
Thank you for Dirty Diesel Customs and for Banks for all the partnering on this episode and after-sales support. Come here, give that to me. I want you to see, if I can screw this up right.
Hi, everybody.
This is Rhett. This video that you're watching and the one before it, and hopefully several more after, are made by this guy. And so he and I've got a really common vision for what we want to do, the kind of stuff that we want to shoot and bring you guys along. Well, we're glad he's here, right? Till next time, y'all take care, okay? I actually do want to go drive this.